Most Magic combat systems just want you to spam abilities, but this game somehow turned elemental damage into chain reactions so satisfying that I started changing my build just to make bigger explosions and watch entire mobs disappear in seconds. At first, this just seems like a really polished fantasy action RPG. You play as Ariana, a librarian with magical powers whose mission is to repair sacred books known as the Elder Codices. Each book acts as its own element-based stage where you explore maps, eliminate enemies, and uncover damaged pages that transport you into stories that need to be restored. And early on, the combat already feels good. You can equip 6 spells of varying elemental types for offense and protection, and casting is only limited by cooldowns. Magic points need not apply. But then the elemental system starts opening up. Enemies are color-coded by element or just neutral. Fire pairs with water, wind with earth. Using the opposite element inflicts extra damage while matching elements weakens attacks. Simple enough, but that's when enemies start exploding. Continuous elemental damage triggers elemental bursts that detonate enemies into magical bombs capable of damaging nearby foes with that same element. And once the chain reactions kick in, combat starts feeling completely different. You detonate one enemy, it sets off another nearby, and suddenly entire mobs are getting wiped out quickly if you're managing elements well. It reminded me a lot of elemental reactions in a game like Genshin Impact, except here it feels way more aggressive. And the combat keeps building on that. Enemies can enter a stun state that opens them up to critical hits once you drain their yellow bar. Then later you unlock form change, which fills as you apply elemental damage. Swap forms to buff elements, strengthen spells, enhance charge attacks, and make elemental bursts even easier to trigger. That's when it really made sense. I stopped thinking about individual spells and started thinking about how my entire build worked together, because the game keeps giving you reasons to experiment. Completing challenges inside story pages unlocks stat upgrades, materials, and new abilities that let you access previously unreachable areas. Back at the library, you'll spend a lot of time working on your build. Completing stages unlocks new spells and upgrade paths for existing ones, while the materials you collect can be crafted into magic items that improve stats and buff abilities. Slots are limited too, so figuring out what to equip becomes part of the challenge, especially once the bosses start forcing you to think about your build more carefully. You actually have to consider which elemental spells are effective and which abilities give you an advantage going into fights, and the bosses make you earn those wins. Later encounters test your reflexes hard with multi-phase fights and constant attack patterns that force split-second decisions. It took me some tries to get through the final bosses, but it was fist pumps level of rewarding once everything finally came together. And honestly, a lot of that satisfaction comes from how polished everything feels. The voice acting, user interface, and art are all highly detailed. The audio and visuals are a gift to the senses, turning stages into giant light shows by exploiting elemental weaknesses, dopamine-inducing. It controls extremely well too, and that precision matters once the difficulty ramps up. Outside of combat, there's also platforming challenges, light environmental puzzles, and plenty of lore to dig into if you want it. Though if you prefer the action, you can skip story scenes and revisit them later. There's also a lot for completionists. Challenges are replayable for better rewards, achievements give extra items, and there's enough build variety that I wish there were more slots just to keep experimenting. And that's really what stuck with me most. What started as a solid fantasy action RPG slowly turned into me chasing bigger chain reactions and tweaking my build just to see how far I could push the combat. And if you're looking for other indie and AA games worth playing, check out the videos on my channel. Ariana and the Elder Codex is Backlog approved.